Welcome to this Facebook Live talking about the hour cards discipline in the World Memory Championships. Of course, the hour cards is one of the marathon disciplines. The remarkable achievements people are getting this is staggering nowadays. The world record is 48 decks in 1 hour. Perfect recall. Compare that to just a few years ago, Dominic O'Brien set a Guinness World Record with 54 decks. But this was unlimited time. It took him many hours to memorise 54. Slightly different in that this was intershuffled cards, so not single decks, but all the cards shuffled together, and it's a single sighting, so they were able to see each card once. After he turned the second card, he wasn't allowed to turn back to the first. It's interesting how this intershuffled idea came about. It started when Creighton Carvalho, one of the pioneers of memory, was trying a record attempt. I think it was on Japanese television, and all the cards were laid out on the desk ready to memorise. And just before he started on live TV, someone knocked over the table, or it collapsed, and all the cards fell on the floor. So of course there was no time to sort them back into individual decks. They were just gathered up off the floor, put into piles of 52, and then he memorised those. So of course, having set the record in this particular set of conditions, and that then was perpetuated, so that's how it came to be the intershuffled record rather than just individual decks. Of course, in the World Championships you have individual decks, which means that you can check on the recall sheet. There are the cards from 1 to 52 down the left hand side, and you can tick those off after you memorise, just to make sure you haven't left any gaps or made any mistakes by repeating the same card or something like that. So you've got a very good check. Of course, you only need to memorise or recall 51, because the 52nd card is the one that's left after you've ticked off all the rest. So you can get away with one error of memory and still score a perfect deck. One of the issues though is if you forget 2 cards, you've only memorised 50 cards, then you've got a choice. There's obviously, you know the 2 cards that are missing, but you don't know where they went. It could be the first card in the first position, second card in the second position, or it could be the other way round. So there's 2 possibilities. One gives you 52 points, the other one, because you've got 2 errors, gives you 0. So that's a problem that you have a 50-50 chance whether you get 52 or 0. So it's a flip of a coin choice. However, if you're not confident, if you're not don't like to gamble, you can write the same card twice, and then that means you're guaranteed 1 right, 1 error, which means you're guaranteed 26 points. So it's your choice when you're recalling with that situation. Do you go for a definite 26 in the bank, as it were, or the chance of 52 or 0? So you have to decide on your best strategy that way, to how confident you feel of your luck at that time. But it's a real one of the biggest tests of memory to do 52 cards multiple times, so 48 times in the competition. Of course, the way that competitors do it is they start off first deck, second deck, third deck, and then we go back to the first deck after that. Dominic O'Brien describes it like spinning plates. You start, you have a stick with a plate on top, you start spinning that, start off the next one, and then as the first one's starting to wobble, about to come off, you need to give it another nudge to keep it going. Same thing goes with your recall of the cards. You have to go back and review the early ones, so that when it gets to the end you're not forgetting those decks. But it's a real test of memory and a fantastic achievement that we've got in that discipline in the championships. Not much else to say about cards, but hope this has been of interest to you. Next discipline, next week, and thanks for listening.